Welcome to a Readathon TBR video. Please excuse the outfit. I am in my office. It is now, what the heck time is it? 8:47 p.m. So I got off work at 6:15. So about 2.5-ish hours ago. Saw an announcement video for a TBR that I want to, or a readathon that I want to participate in. Am I taking on too much? This particular TBR video you're going to see before the others, because I do want to get these TBR videos out before September starts. So yeah, I'm in my pajamas and I have a hoodie on because it's cold in my office, because my office is in the basement. So all right. So I have already filmed and they are scheduled. Today is the 19th of August. So my TBR, for my TBR game, Catwalk TBR, for the month of September has been filmed and is scheduled to be uploaded. Okay? As well as the readathons that I want to participate in September. So, as you can see behind me, I have a bookcase. It'll be in this video, but not in the other TBR videos, because it's brand new. I literally just got this yesterday, so on the 18th. That shelf of books are all the books across my September Catwalk TBR and the other readathons I'm going to participate in. And it very well could increase. Will I get to all of those? Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful. So my September Catwalk TBR, I ended up with, I don't know how many books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books. I don't expect to get to all of those, but so I play my game. I also have to base the book. So I get the prompt and I also need to try to combine it with a color prompt. And when I can't, it gets divided. If I can't find a book that fits the color prompt, but it fits one of the prompts, but not both of them, then I split it. But if I can't do them separately, then I have to add on a third book, which is considered a punishment book. So it definitely adds up quickly. So that was September was my first time playing it like that. And I had fun, and I am not mad about what I got. So I ended up with 15 books. Well, then I found a readathon that's going to be called Killers versus Final Girls. I was sorted onto Team Killers. There are 13 prompts, and I have 12 books. 11 books picked for that. So some of my books from my Catwalk TBR made it on to my Killers versus Final Girls TBR. There are 2 books for the Final Girls, Killers versus Final Girls, that I was not able to pick yet. They are still TBD, or to be determined, because it has to be recommended by a teammate. The only book recommended so far, aside from what I recommended, was Graveyard by Neil Gaiman, and I've read that before, and honestly I was kind of bored with that book. So not going to reread that one. And then Buddy Read, and neither of those have been discussed or anything yet. Okay, so that's readathon number 1. So not counting my Catwalk TBR. Okay, no, let's count my Catwalk TBR. Catwalk TBR. Killers versus Final Girls readathon. Well, then there's the Season-a-thon Academy. Thankfully, there's only 5 prompts for that one, and I was able to convert. I did have to add some books, so yeah. But that's my other one. And then there's also on Twitter, I found the Monsters University readathon, which takes place for September. For this one, I was not able to pick books because the prompts will not be available until September 1st. So I have no idea what the prompts are and if any of the books I picked will fit for any of the prompts there. So that's 3 readathons plus my Catwalk TBR. Well, guess what? There's also Suffer-a-thon Hotel, which is a readathon that takes place for the month of September. Prompts are not announced yet, and they will be released, I think, on September 1st or something like around there. So I don't know, again, what I've picked so far will fit any of those prompts. So 4 readathons plus my Catwalk TBR. Well, here's another readathon. This one I found tonight when I was off from work and I was relaxing. Krystal from Bon Book Reviews posted, she was going to do this, but then, you know, life stuff happens. she says she normally does this in August because that's her birthday month. So happy belated birthday, Krystal. But because of life stuff, it's taking place this month or in September. So 5 readathons plus my catwalk TBR. But I am trying to cross over as many books onto the various TBRs as possible. Now, I do not have solo cups. I do not have any pong balls or whatever they're called. Because I don't drink alcohol, so I don't have anything that you would use to play beer pong is what it is, because it's based off of beer pong. So I am doing the random generator version of PickPongAthon. So yeah, we will be doing this. So I have written down, takes place in September, it's hosted by Krystal, and then Krystal's channel, Bond Book Reviews, and then the name of it is PickPongAthon. I am starting with 5 prompts. If when I generate a number, it ends in a 0 or a 5, that counts as a miss for the physical beer pong, pick pong game, and so I'd have to add 1. I did see on the rules, the other rule for the random generator version is that if, I took a screenshot of it and now I'm blanking, so let me pull it up here because I have all of the prompts, and we're going to generate a number between 1 and 72. And oh, if you generate the same number twice, you have to regenerate a new number and then combine the 2 prompts and pick 1 book. So I think the only difference that I'm going to say is if I can't pick 1 book that fits for both of those, I'm going to split it. And so it'll have to be 1 book per prompt type of a thing. I'm going to kind of mess with that a little bit. Hopefully that does not happen because I don't want to have to deal with anything like that. So let's hope I'm just ending up with the 5 prompts and then I'm able to pick from any of those books there. I do have a lot more books in my room, but yeah, that's plenty to choose from for September. I don't really want to add to it, and I might end up adding to it for the 2 TBR readathons that I don't know what the prompts are going to be. So I need a piece of paper because I have to write down what numbers I generate. So I've got a blank piece of paper, and I have the prompts screenshotted on my phone. So the light is going to go on and off and all of that. So let me pull up random number generator, and let's see, random. Here we go, right at the top. And it's 1 to 72. Okay, so right now it has a number 3. So, sorry for the reflection, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's figure out what the first prompt will be. 36, 36. Okay. Maybe I'll leave the light off because it's really not so bad right now. Oh, you know what? That's a little bit better. Let's do this. Sorry for the impromptu right now, but I don't want to have to keep reaching over to turn the light on and off. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I got number 36, so let me write that one down. So it does not end in a 0 or a 5, so right off I'm not having to generate a new added on the book. So which one has, okay, so here's the sheet, and 36 is right. Oh, where'd it go? This is a mess, I know. But as you can see, 36 is disability rep. Do I have a book that has disability rep? I already know one that comes to my mind, and it's one that I did not get on any of these TBRs because I completely forgot about it. So I'm thinking maybe I should add it while I can, but well, none of the books, so I looked at those and I don't see any disability rep among any of them. I mean, there's some where it's like, it could be, but is it more that it's a supernatural haunting possession type of a thing? So let me go to Discord. There is a Discord channel that I have that is called Autism Reads. I am autistic, and I just kind of put this together the very last minute several months ago. Started in February, where it was just to read books that have autism rep, written by autistic authors, combination of the two or one or the other. So for the next year, my plan is to not worry about the autism rep, but to try to highlight authors that are autistic. So I'm going to, and I'm going to make, and a lot of these, I don't, again, this was all very last minute that I put this together. Most of them ended up being middle grade. I'm going to make more of an effort to alternate between age genres for 2024. So the Discord for the Autism Reads will be in the Discord or in the description box so that you can join if you would so like. So the book for, and I'll insert an image. I still need to get a copy of this book, I believe. Let me see. So the selection for October. So I was looking at the wrong month. Oh, helps if I look at the right month. I was looking at October. No, I don't want October. We're doing this for September. So the selection for September, I do want a copy of, I believe. Oh crap. Or I thought I did. Evidently I don't, so I'm gonna have to get a copy of this. Anyway, it's written by Jodi Picoult, who is not autistic, but I did read that it is based on like her nephew or someone that she knows who is autistic. So the book is called House Rules, written by Jodi Picoult, and the synopsis says, when your son can't look you in the eye, does that mean he's guilty? Jacob Hunt is a teen with Asperger's syndrome. He's hopeless at reading social cues or expressing himself well to others, though he is brilliant in many ways. But he has a special focus on one subject, forensic analysis. Oh, interesting. I forgot about that. A police scanner in his room clues him into crime scenes, and he's always showing up and telling the cops what to do. And he's usually right. But when Jacob's small hometown is rocked by a terrible murder, law enforcement comes to him. Jacob's behaviors are hallmark Asperger's, but they look a lot like guilt to the local police. Suddenly, the Hunt family, who only want to fit in, are directly in the spotlight. For Jacob's mother, Emma, it's a brutal reminder of the intolerance and misunderstanding that always threaten her family. For his brother, Theo, it's another indication why nothing is normal because of Jacob. And over this small family, the soul-searing question looms, did Jacob commit murder? So, yes. So this is definitely an adult, and it does have that. So the term Asperger's is not used anymore, at least here in the United States. I don't know about other continents or countries, but here in the United States, we don't really use Asperger's anymore. I mean, if you were diagnosed as Asperger's, people tend to kind of use them interchangeably. When I was diagnosed, the psychologist that talked to me about it said it would have been called Asperger's a couple of years ago, but now it's just all autism spectrum disorder. So yeah, and it is definitely considered a disability. It is under the ADA, the American with Disabilities Act, so it definitely is covered. And I have yet to get this book on any of my TBRs because I completely forgot about it. So I'm going to get it on now while I can, because I know I'm going to forget again. So I need a different color pen. Okay, so let me write this down. And I know I have a book by Jodi Picoult, but I don't remember if it's this book. So I'm going to have to check my bookcase that's under my window in my room to see if it's there, because that's where it's going to be if it is. If it's not, I'll order myself a copy of that, and I'll have it in time for the readathon. So, okay, now that that book is picked, let's go back to the random number generator. Okay. 72, yes, okay, 72. All right, so go in my screenshots and I'm gonna zoom in. Oh, I can do this one out of one of those. Number 72 is a new author, so a new to me author. I can do that. Now it's just a matter of picking which one I want, because a lot of these are new to me. Okay. This one. Yep, this is a new to me. Okay. A Lady's Formula for Love. So this is a romance. This is one of my library books. So I'll try to prioritize this one. Okay. A Lady's Formula for Love. This was written by Elizabeth Everett, and this is an adult. It was in the adult section of my library, so I'm going to assume it's an adult. What is a Victorian lady's formula for love? Mix one brilliant noblewoman and her enigmatic protection officer. Add in a measure of danger and attraction. Heat over the warmth of humor and friendship, and the result is more than simple chemistry. It's elemental. Lady Violet Hughes is keeping secrets. First, she founded a clandestine sanctuary for England's most brilliant female scientists. Second, she is using her genius on a confidential mission for the crown. The biggest secret of all, her feelings for protection officer Arthur Neeland. Solitary and reserved, Arthur learned the hard way to put duty first. But the more time he spends in the company of Violet and the eccentric club members, the more his best intentions go up in flames, literally. When a shadowy threat infiltrates Violet's laboratories, endangering her life and her work, scientist and bodyguard will find all their theories put to the test and learn that the most important discoveries are those of the heart. And I really like the cover of this, so I really like the animated and silhouette type style. Anyway, I really like this, so I like this cover. All right, putting that down. Now, go back to random number generator and find out prompt number 3. So 29. Oh, okay, good. Still on a good roll here. All right, number 29. And that is... oh, shoot. Am I gonna have to add a book? Okay. YA fantasy. All right. I know I do not have a YA fantasy down here. So I have romance, I have a historical fiction, I have mystery, thriller, cozy mystery, I have a middle grade horror. Yeah, the only YA I have is a horror, and that's a Fear Street book by R.L. Stine. That's the only YA book. 2 middle grades, one's a graphic novel, and one's a novel. Everything else is adult, so I have to go look on my bookcase upstairs. So we will come back to that prompt. So let's go ahead and move on. See if I can get any of those. Yeah. Random number generator again. 44. Okay. At this point, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut with certain things because I don't want to jinx myself. So number 44 is... okay, now on this you're gonna see an orange dot. That orange, and there's also some of these circles that have green dots. Those apply if you're physically playing the pick pong with the cups and the balls. So the prompt for number 44 is a 5-star prediction. I can do that one. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one because every book I have read from this author has been 5 stars. This is an adult fantasy, it's an epic fantasy. This is A Time of Blood, written by Gwynne. I read the Faithful and the Fallen series by this author. Every single book got a 5-star. If anything got lower than a 5-star, it was a 4-star. But I think everything was a 5-star. Book number 1 in this particular trilogy is A Time of Dread. So this is A Time of Blood. So we're continuing on. The name of the series is Of Blood and Bone. And this takes place after the events, like several hundred years after the events of the Faithful and the Fallen series. There are some characters in the Faithful and the Fallen series that have very long lifespans and do show up in this series. So I can't tell you what this is about without spoiling anything, but it is still a battle between good and evil. It is very much war heavy, so there is going to be a lot of bloodshed. And think Vikings. If you've ever seen a Viking TV show or a Viking movie where they fight with the swords and the bows and arrows, this is very much Viking vibes to me. So I love this series. I love Gwynne's writing. And this one isn't too bad as far as length goes. It is over 400 pages. Let's see. 463 pages. So it is less than 500 though, but this tends to be really quick because I tend to fall and really get immersed in this world. So 5-star prediction, abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, now, fingers crossed that this will be the last prompt. Okay, random number. Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, number 61. Dang it. Okay, and I think that is, if it was a 1, was it a 0 or a 5 or a 1 or a 5? Please just be a 0. Oh, please be a 0. If that was that rule. Hang on. Hang on. Maybe it's fine. Maybe I'm fine. If you generate a number ending in 0 or 5, you need to add an extra. So I have a ending in 6, 2, 9, 4, and 1. Yes! Oh, I was wrong. I was wrong. I do not have to add on an extra prompt. So we're ending with the 5. And none of them are doubles. Oh, praise the TBR gods. I do not have to add on an extra. Okay, although my stack there is getting an extra 2 books, but that's okay. That is okay. At least it won't be an extra 3. Okay, number 61, right? Yep, that's the number I landed on. Okay. Okay, number 61, as you can see, is first in a series, and I do have some books there that are first in a series, so this, I don't have to add on an extra one. Okay, first. Okay, so for this one, I'm going with a cozy mystery series. I do know that this is the first in a series. And the book I'm going with is called Death Overdue, written by Allison Brook. This is a haunted library mystery. So this is book number 1. It says, Carrie Singleton is just about done with Clover Ridge, Connecticut, until she's offered a job as the head of programs and events at the spooky local library, complete with its own librarian ghost. Her first major event is a program presented by a retired homicide detective, Al Buckley, who claims he knows who murdered Laura Foster, a much-loved part-time library aide who was bludgeoned to death 15 years earlier. As he invites members of the audience to share stories about Laura, he suddenly keels over and dies. The medical examiner reveals that poison is what did him in, and Carrie feels responsible for having surged forward with the program despite pushback from her director. Driven by guilt, Carrie's determined to discover who murdered the detective, convinced it's the same man who killed Laura all those years ago. Luckily for Carrie, she has a friendly, knowledgeable ghost by her side, but as she questions the shadows surrounding Laura's case, disturbing secrets come to light, and with each step Carrie takes, she gets closer to ending up like Al. Now it's do or die for Carrie in Death Overdue. The delightful first new book in a new cozy mystery series. So Death Overdue. Yes. Okay. Oh, happy about that. All right. Okay, so I will be back for you in no time. I am going to go up to my room. I'm going to see if I have house rules, and I'll come down and I'll show you the book and I'll add it because I really need to add it there. And I'm also going to pick a YA fantasy off of my bookcase. So I will come down and I will show you, because that's the only one I do not have a book picked for. So I will come back and I'll show you that. So I'll be back in half a second. Okay, so I found a book to fit the prompt for YA fantasy. I also checked on my shelf, and I do not own a copy of House Rules by Jodi Picoult, so I did order a copy of that. It was like $10, so went ahead and did that. I was actually thinking of a completely different author for what I was seeing on my bookcase, so I had the completely wrong book in mind. But, so I will get that, and then once that arrives, I'll add that to that growing stack. And the book that I decided to go ahead and go with is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So this is young adult, it is fantasy, and I think it's a romance as well. I have never read Holly Black, so this is actually also work as a new to me author as well. So yeah, let's see. I don't really know what this is about, and I do remember hearing people talk about it, but I don't remember what they've said. Guard your mortal heart. Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, despite her mortality. But many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Cardan, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, she must defy him and face the consequences. As Jude becomes more deeply embroiled in palace intrigues and deceptions, she discovers her own capacity for trickery and bloodshed. But as betrayal threatens to drown the courts of Fairy in violence, Jude will need to risk her life in a dangerous alliance to save her sisters and Fairy itself. So it has sounded good when I've heard people talk about it. It's been a bit. So yeah, I mean, it does sound good, but at the same time, for whatever reason, I'm intimidated. And I think it's because Holly Black is such a well-loved author, and I'm so nervous that after I hit myself in the head, I'm so nervous I'm not gonna like Holly Black's writing. I got this from a, like, I would not have picked this up on my own. So this came in a book box. I want to say it came in an owl crate. I didn't realize that was there. Like, for whenever it is that this came in owl crate, if I'm right about that, I don't know for sure, but I think that's what it was. Either that or the second book came in the owl crate, and then I ordered this one because I know I've got to read the first one first. I don't remember. But yeah, so this is what I'm going with for the YA fantasy, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So these are the 4 books that I have right now. One is on its way. Should be here in just a couple of days. So 3 of them were already on. My hope to get TBR out of all the readathons and my TBR game. 3 of these were already on there. I had to get, and I completely forgot about getting House Rules by Jodi Picoult on there. Completely forgot about that book. Need to get to that one for this because that's a September selection for Autism Reads. And so then technically it's only just adding 1, I guess. Anyway, so that's it. Let me know, are you participating in PickPongAthon for the month of September? Are there any other readathons that you are participating in? Like myself, are you doing a whole bunch? So yes, talk to me in the comment section below. Have you read from any of these books, read from any of these authors? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment sections below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.